know by now that we really promote pulling strength exercises to improve your triathlon performance, and we touched on various reasons why. We've talked about shoulder health and performance for swimming to improve stroke power because you'll have a more stable shoulder. I've also referred to how it will provide a more stable position on the bike when you're pedaling because it will minimise sway through the upper limb that can translate into the lower limb, get you into crappier positions when you're pedaling, make you less efficient. But today we want to focus more on the specifics of the exercises and the techniques that you can use to do them properly and benefit with your triathlon in the best ways possible. So we're going to talk about horizontal pulling today. This is where essentially we're bringing objects or equipment towards us, and we're going to use today what we call an inverted row. Now these suspension trainers and rings are all really common now, and many of you have probably used them. We want to make sure today though that you're learning how to do it exactly right. A bonus tip is to make sure you always measure the height from the bottom of the rings or the barbell to the floor, so you're always using the same setup. Now, if you don't want to look like the person in the gym who walks in with their tape measure and feels a little bit stupid, one little trick is you can just use a consistent point on your body, like your hip or your knee or vice versa, as a measuring point for consistency to take it forward. The first thing that we're going to look at is making sure that when we go back down into position, that we've almost got this straight line, so the body is like a steel rod. It's really common for people to drop their hips a bit or have them too high in the air and be overextending through their lower back. It's not a lower back exercise. Make sure as well the heels are planted, but the toes are pointing up. That makes all the work come from here, and it avoids us using the legs and cheating a little bit. The final thing on the setup is make sure the eyes stay in line with where the arms are. Now in this case, that's the one, the metal bar above us, but as long as you've got a consistent line with the arms and the eyesight, then you're going to be in the right position to use the right muscles. When we execute the exercise, the critical thing is we're utilising the muscles here and here, not as much here and here. Yes, we are going to use the muscles in our arms and we are going to use the muscles up here, but you really want to feel that most of the work is coming from here and here. To begin with, you might not, but as you learn this technique over time, you will. And one great way to do that is first of all not knowing just to pull from there, but make sure you start the movement from there. So rather than bending at the elbows first to drive back at the shoulder blades, if we do 2 reps here, you can see the movement starts at the shoulder blades, and it doesn't start by flexing at the elbows like you do if you were doing some bicep curls like most of us did when we were in our teens. Perfect. There are various other ways as well that we can do this. We can use a barbell on an inverted row, we can do horizontal cable pulls, there are a whole variety of things, but those couple of simple setup techniques and the techniques you use when you're doing exercises will serve you well at making sure the work you do in the gym with your strength training is going to transfer into making you a happier, high performing, less injury prone triathlete.